existence.
All right.
Ugh.
Speaking of things that we should dare never talk into existence, this one I saw shared quite a few times this week. They're talking about, and this again, rumor, doing a reboot of Back to the Future. Uh,
They literally are out
starring,
of ideas.
directed by J.J. Abrams
Oh God, that's even worse.
and starring Timothy Chalamet, who was
Yeah,
just Willy Wonka.
it's just what we want is Back to the Future with lens flares. Um, I just I I don't. I'm sorry. I after J.J. Abrams ruined Star Trek for me, which God, I'm over him seeing him do anything. You know, him
I
and
mean,
Michael Bay. They put
it's.
out crap and people go to see it anyway. I'm just not interested in it at all. Yeah, exactly. Frankel's got the idea. I think he's also curled up into a ball in a fetal
I mean,
position, and I
JD
would
has
be
said
too.
it. JD has said it 100 times because he talked about movies you should never remake, and we've joked because there were a lot of people saying with Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. should redo Back to the Future and with them as Doc and Marty, and he's like, no, that's dumb. Don't back redo Back to the Future. And I kind of, if there's any truth to this rumor, I feel that's where that was born from. Those memes on the internet of people saying like redo it with those two.
We already got a redo of Back to the Future. It's called Rick and Morty, and it's awesome.
Yep.
And there is zero reason to we there was a reason to redo movies back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Okay, I can understand them. Like look at what happened with the thing. The 1950s was a literal 1950s horror. I'm using air quotes horror movie, and then Carpenter took it and turned it into probably one of the best horror movies of all time. But we're at a point now where you cannot redo some of these movies because I mean you can, but like why? Because the originals are just going to stand the test of time. They're so damn good. There is zero reason to remake them.
Well, how many of those old
RoboCop was a perfect
movies?
example. RoboCop, you can't redo RoboCop.
Well, right. Well, how many of those movies are completely busted by the invention of cell phones? Like, how many
True.
movies is the plot completely
Exactly.
fucked?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and here
Perfect.
like, okay,
Perfect observation, Don. That's
if
exactly.
they remade Back to the Future now, he would be traveling back to 1995.
Oh God, I feel old.
And can you fly, Bobby?
Don't know what that one is.
I don't know what that means, Thrawn.
Back
Um,
through.
and so the so 1995, right? So think about the differences. The world was so different from 1985 to 1955,
Mm-hmm.
right? That and it's very different from 1980s to now. But the 90s, like, people were starting to go on the internet. We weren't dependent on the internet. Um, but RoboCop, they did redo RoboCop. It was
No,
horrible.
no, 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 no. It's. He was saying, "Can you fly, Bobby?" That was what that quote was
Oh,
from. Is from RoboCop. I remember it now. And Frosty is also correct. We still don't have our damn hoverboards.
yes.
Well,
So
we
I
do, but they blow up planes because the lithium ion batteries.
so I mean, I don't know. It's like it's weird because like cell phones weren't a thing,
Yeah,
right? So like if
and the
you went
internet
back,
wasn't a thing either. Like,
it was, but it wasn't. But here's the thing too, right? The thing that makes a cell phone cool is that, or today, or smartphone, is that it is on the internet. You can get all this information. So somebody who traveled back and couldn't use their smartphone, like, okay, there is some humor around that, right? Because the phone just wouldn't work,
yeah, you'd have a flip phone.
right? So I don't know. I don't know. You can't. It's not the same. I don't think.
I would just remember like thinking how cool it was in Star Trek when they're like, number one, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We can do that now. No problem. It's not shit.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a bit.
they actually in the original series in Star Trek the original series they had data pads and now
Right.
you
Or
know,
yeah.
now we've got
Or
data
remember
pads.
yeah.
Right.
Or remember in Star Trek 4 where like Scotty's like computer, he's picking up the mouse.
Yeah,
Computer.
yeah,
Computer.
Computer. And now it's like Siri, Alexa, like we're there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at him like he's a fucking idiot. Computer. Computer.
There wasn't ain't any news but cool back then.
That is a quadruple negative. No. That's only a double. That's only a double. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ain't any. But kudos.
Yeah,
Um,
to basically tie together everything that you guys have said, some of these are period pieces, and they're not from a time where, on any by redoing them now, even if you were to set it in the same, if you were to set it in the same time frame as the originals, then you're not going to get anybody better than the original actors.
I saw.
It's the same reason that you and JD Dave argued with me about redoing The Greatest American Hero. It's like what made it was the actors.
I saw a
Walking
video.
on air.
Yeah, you can't redo it again.
The crazy thing is, kids are wearing the same clothes today from the 90s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they'll be doing that in the 2040s too. Everything goes around in the
Mullets are cool now, though. I don't get that. Mullets.
No, they're not.
Have mullets.
No,
Well, no, they're not. But to the kids, they are.
I saw an interesting proposal. I saw an interesting proposal online for a Back to the Future 4, where it's kind of like the afterlife storyline. It's modern time. It's Marty McFly's kid, and Marty has died, and he's goes to a property that he owns, and he finds he opens the garage and finds the DeLorean in there, and he goes back and back to the 90s or something, finds his dad, who is a motion captured Michael J. Fox. CG.
There is no reason to beat these properties. Like these properties exist already. We don't need to redo them. Thing sucks because it was
not without a good hook. Not without a good hook. Because because Michael J. Fox, like if it's not going to involve him, then why bother? Like you really have to go. Like if you told me there was a Back to the Future movie, but it's going to tie in with Terminator 2, like okay, cool, I'll go see that. Like, oh, Marty, we've got to stop Cyberdyne, Marty. Okay,
because
cool.
you're not gonna get a better doc than Christopher Lloyd. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
End of story.
Right on.
Ain't gonna happen. And Leah Thompson, chef's kiss. I mean, like, come on, And the guy who played Biff Tannen, what was it, Thomas Wilson? So like all these guys, it was all perfect,
And that's the thing; they're all still alive. So to have like this tribute with Timothee Chalamet or whatever his name is, like you don't need to do that because
you would wind up with the Ghostbusters. Don, you'd wind up with the Ghostbusters.
Exactly. That's
female case, right?
Yes.
With the originals coming in just to die or do something stupid,
That's exactly what I thought. Like if they did that, it's just going to be the all-female Ghostbusters, which crystal ball nobody cares about.
All right, well, then that's it. Anyone who's watching this who's involved with Hollywood, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's a bad idea. Thanks for watching this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. And don't forget to watch us live every Sunday night right here on this channel.
While you're here, hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so you won't miss out on any of our great upcoming content.
Speaking of content, don't forget to check out our website, superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast, links to our social media, merch, comic reviews, and so much more. That's superheroespeak.com.
Thanks for watching, and don't let your cape be caught in the door. See you next time.